So I had a therapy session 2 days ago. Today's Wednesday, the 11th, when I'm recording this, and I learned quite a bit about myself. This is the fourth time filming this, and I was trying to take it into a direction of basically the topic and trying to explain to you exactly what happened during the therapy session. But at the end of the day, it's not going to work that way because, as you can tell if you're watching this on YouTube, I got the lights on. It's been a while, and I feel good. I feel good because of these therapy sessions and how the tools have been used during, in between sessions. And I just feel good. And it's very hard for me to make a video, especially on mental health, when I'm feeling good, because I feel like if I talk about my mental health when I'm in a good mood, it opens up doors for me to be bad in the head, I guess. And it's very hard. So I want to share with you the good stuff, but it's so much easier to share with you the bad, if that makes sense. So I want to share with you some good stuff. And it really came down to this therapy session's an hour long. The last 45 minutes turned into basically about me and how I feel as a dad. So if you don't know too much about my personal life, is that my wife, she has 2 kids from a previous marriage, so these kids are not biologically mine. And during the therapy session, we jumped onto the subject of when was the happiest moment of our relationship. So my wife said stuff, and I said stuff during the first 15 minutes. And then what I said was, I feel like the happiest moment for me was when we all moved in together, and I felt like we became a family. And that's something that I've always wanted. And then she asked me a few questions, and it kind of came down to where she asked me, what's the first thing that I think about when I hear the word dad? And I said biological. And I'm not biologically their dad. So it kind of came about to where I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I don't have the same love I have for the kids that I do for my wife. It's not the same thing. It's natural with my wife, but it's like it feels unnatural with my kids. And we started talking more and more and more, and she says, what do you think a dad should do? Like, in your own words, what do you think a dad should be or should do? And I said, and I like to say stuff through my gut, because if I think about it, my anxiety kind of kicks in, and I start trying to figure out. Sorry if you guys are watching this. I just went outside walking, and I got the water vapor, so it's water running down my nose, or in my nose. So I said what I feel like a dad should be is somebody that provides, protects, and I paused and I said, and loves. So that's what I felt like they should do at the end. I know they should provide and protect. I know that. Provide, protect, and pretty much die for their family. I know that. I feel that. The whole and love part, I'm like, I don't feel that. So I feel very bad, like when I interact with my kids, and I say that, I say it naturally with my kids. I mean, they're my stepkids, but still they're my kids. And I feel like I'm kind of a stranger. I feel like I'm somebody just got put in that role, and that's just, I'm filling a role of the dad mode, I guess. And my wife talks about how the kids absolutely love me. They miss me when I'm even upstairs or gone. They ask where I'm at. They want to hang out with me. They want to sit next to me. They want to play. They want to do stuff. They want to share. And they completely look at me as dad. And they even call me dad now. So that's great. And I'm just sitting here. It's like, but I mean, I'm hearing all this stuff. It makes me happy. And I feel this disconnect. It feels not necessarily unnatural. It just doesn't. I feel like I'm an actor. Like I said, I feel like I'm filling that role. And that's how I felt with being a motorcycle coach, YouTuber, firefighter, personal trainer, powerlifter, all the stuff I did before YouTube and all that stuff. I feel like I just keep filling a role. I can get good at it with all the hard work and research and all that stuff I do. I get good at it, but I feel like I'm filling a role in a lot of things. And I want to say it's that imposter syndrome. But we started talking, and when I said, provide, protect, and then I was like, and love, and then I said, what I think of as a dad is biological, I was just very confused by it. She asked me, okay, well, how was it when you were a child? How was your dad? What happened there? What was the dynamic there? Is it the and I basically said, excuse me. I basically said it was the same dynamic. I know my dad provided and protected, but he was a firefighter like I was. He was gone a lot of the times, and I honestly didn't feel the same love that I did from my mom. My mama's boy, And I just started to realize during the session, this is the beauty of these therapy sessions. I highly recommend everybody taking a therapy session. Even if your marriage is strong, still take a couples counseling session. Maybe do a couple of them, and you're going to realize how strong your relationship is or where some holes are. And you really learn a lot about yourself. So I started realizing, oh man, I'm doing what my dad did. And if I know how that feels being as a kid, I wonder how that feels as my kids, look at me. But it explains a lot. It explains kind of how I feel and whatnot. And then she asked me, so if it's the same as you are, as a child and as you are as a parent, if it's the same thing, the same feelings and everything, it's like, does it really matter if you're biological or not? And I was like, whoa, no, it really doesn't. It really doesn't matter if I'm their biological father, because my biological father did the same thing. And I'm non-biological with my kids, and I'm doing the same thing he did. So that opened my eyes, and that allows me to think past what that was, and that's what I've been doing these past few days. And these past few days, I've kind of come to the realization that I'm doing a good job. I'm doing a good job. Kids are happy. Their grades are good. I'm encouraging their things that they want to do. I'm making sure they have the best I can provide. And then it's like, so then what the fuck's the problem with me? How come I feel like I'm not a dad? But I'm a dad. It's like, why do I not feel like and that's what I'm still going to struggle with for a while, but it's like, she said it during the session, I just don't trust myself. I just don't accept it. I'm not accepting it. Everyone in the family has accepted me as their father, as their husband. Everybody has accepted me, but I haven't accepted it. And why? And I mentioned imposter syndrome because I have a hard time accepting I'm a 130,000 subscriber YouTuber. I have a hard time accepting that I know as much as I do for motorcycle coaching. I had a hard time accepting the fact that I did 10 and a half years as a firefighter, and I was a damn good firefighter. I always felt like I was a shitty one. It's just, I have a problem with accepting the good. I accept the bad easily. So easy. I accept stress easy. But I have such a hard time accepting good. Like good things. That's so weird. And I'm not saying I have an answer for you if you feel the same way. I don't even have an answer for myself. I'm 32 freaking years old, right? 32 years old. And I have a hard time trying to figure out, like, why can't I accept it? So we're working on some things and some steps and some tools to work on. And part of the problem is that, I'm constantly stressed. I'm constantly accepting the bad. So then when I do have interactions with the kids, I'm in this like different mode where I'm not all there. And I think that's a huge problem. And we kind of came to a conclusion with some tools is that I walk my dog in the morning. I just got back from my walk and she said, hey, if you typically end your work day, like in this office, I'm in my office right now. If I typically end my work day at 5 p.m., stop at 4:30 and go do something. Have 30 minutes of decompression time so that when it's time, like 5 p.m., when the kids know that I'm off, then I'm already decompressed from work. So I was like, okay. So now for this week so far, I've been taking my dog out for another walk at 4:30, and it's been helping quite a bit. It's actually very relaxing. It's more relaxing than what I just did first thing in the morning. And that way I can come back fresh to hang out with the family. So we're coming up with tools and solutions, and it's just going to be a long road for me to accept the position I'm in, pretty much accept who I am. And I know a lot of you guys and a lot of you people or whatever, guys, girls, might relate to the whole, like, I feel like I'm just going to work, coming home, doing stuff that I think I enjoy, going to bed, going back to work to a place I think I enjoy. And you're constantly in that process of I think. And I'm starting to take steps back from my own reality and looking at what I have objectively, not subjectively, and start to praise my blessings. I am extremely blessed, and when I think about how I got here, it's like I got here because I worked hard, and I deserve it. And I think a lot of you guys should do that. Once again, I don't know the full answer to even my own question, but I think a lot of you should just take a step back, look at where you're at, look at the things that you're extremely proud of, and then look at the things that you're not proud of, and then make changes. Double down on your strengths, double down on the things you're proud of. And I'm starting to double down on what I'm proud of, what my position as a father, my position as a motorcycle coach, my ideas of motorcycle training concepts, the stuff that I'm producing, and I'm starting to really enjoy what I do now. So it's really hard to make a mental health vlog when you're actually in a good mood and you learn something new, but it's still hard to explain. So this is one of those podcasts where it's hard to explain in words what I'm trying to think about. It's easy to talk about motorcycle stuff because it's like, it's not me. But when it's me, it's so hard. And I think it's good for me to do that here. And it's going to be for a small audience because I know some of you guys can hear and understand what I'm saying. And there's going to be like so many people that are like, what the hell is he talking about? I can't follow what he's saying. And that's fine. That's fine. This is for me. This podcast is for me. And hopefully somebody can relate and then maybe get something out of what I'm saying. That's why I do this. All right, guys. So this is going to be a quick one. Thank you so much for listening to me. You can listen to it on Spotify and iTunes. So if you stayed this long, there you go. You can always listen to it in the car or wherever. All right. With that said, I hope you guys stay safe, look at yourselves objectively, and have a great day.